So I've got a nice blanket here, and I thought it was time again to just tuck you in nice and cozy, nice and tight, and just sort of chatty for a little while as you tried to fall asleep. I feel like it's been a little bit since I've done that, and I kind of missed it a little. So if you'll have me, I'll get you all cozy, comfy, and calm, all tucked in snug in your bed in this blanket. Of course, make sure you do actually tuck yourself in. Unfortunately, I can't do it for you. Just make sure you're all tight and cozy and ready to get some sleep. And I'll just yap until you drift off. How does that sound? Does that sound alright? Just a bit of cozy comfort, a little bit of company, just a little bit of company. Distract your brain whilst you try and fall asleep. Good. Well, how about you make sure you're all ready to go? Alright, make sure you've got everything you need. If you need a little bit of water, or you want to make sure you're in your pajamas and able to just forget about everything for a moment and fall asleep. Make sure you're ready to just fall asleep. Alright, and I'll start. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 and away. I usually start by telling you what I've been up to lately, don't I? In all honesty, I can't really think of anything new and interesting I've done recently. I feel like a lot of what I do now is always more of the same. Like it's been a while since I picked up a new book and started reading. I've not really been keeping up with any anime or manga there's no new movies that I've watched. Okay, there's no new movies that I've watched. I did watch Rocky 3 the other day. And then also video game wise, I feel like there's nothing really new to talk about there either. I've kind of just been keeping up with the same old stuff. Rewatching the same TV shows for the 100th time. Playing the same video games. For the 100th time. Listening to the same music for the 100th time. It's kind of like that now. I feel like I get long periods of time where I'm just not really doing anything new. I'm trying to think. Like I said, I watched Rocky 3 the other day. And that movie it's a decent film. It's not the greatest thing ever made. It was kind of just a casual, sort of fun little, what's a good word? Like, motivating, I think is a good word to use. It was like a motivating film to watch. I've seen the first two, and if you don't know, Rocky is an old boxing movie series, which I believe started in the 70s. It was like 76. I think it was the first one. Maybe it might be earlier. I can't remember. But the first one was in the 70s, and then I think the second one was also in the 70s, and then the third one was somewhere in the 80s. And then there's 7. I think there's 7 Rocky films. Yeah, no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think it's Rocky Balboa, and then you have the 3 Creed films, but not including those. Maybe it's 6. I think there's only 6. There's 6 Rocky films, and then there's 3 Creed films, which is like a sequel. It's like a modern day sequel. Which I'm assuming it's like following Apollo Creed's like son or something. I don't actually know. I've only seen Rocky 1, 2, and 3. And Apollo Creed is the antagonist of the first 2 films. And then he's like he's not the mentor, but he's like he helps Rocky defeat this new challenger. But if you ever sort of want to feel inspired to be physically active, if makes you feel pumped to, go for a run, get stuff sorted. It's a classic underdog story. I don't really want to spoil the film, but the ending as well is, I think, is really good. It suits the story very well. So I was watching Rocky because I was riding my exercise bike. And I wanted something to watch that was a little motivating. And then I ended up being on it for like an hour and a half, just riding the bike. So that was interesting. But how are you doing? I guess that's what I've been up to. But how are you? Have you lately been up to anything? Or is it also more just same old, same old? Even when it is the same old, you can kind of find things to mention, just like I sort of just did. You sort of think of yourself as this boring person. Nothing interesting going on, nothing new to say, but if you let your brain sort of walk through it, in the company of someone who's willing to listen, you can often find things to talk about. That's how I see it anyway. So, how have you been? What have you been up to? It's okay if you don't really want to tell me. You don't have to talk back right now. I know you're trying to sleep. So, it's okay. Just rest up. I can do the yapping a bit longer. I can yap a bit longer. Just close your eyes and rest, and I'll take care of the rest. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and rest. The only thing I've kind of been keeping up with recently is all of my gym stuff. I've been keeping real consistent with that, which I suppose, if you're gonna keep something consistent, let it be the gym, right? That's probably the best thing to keep up with, instead of continuing watching and reading manga and anime, or finding new shows and movies to watch, where I'm sitting on my butt for a couple hours doing nothing of no value to anyone. I think it's better that I consistent with exercise, exercise, exercise. That's probably the thing to stay consistent with, right? I think so. I think that's the better thing to do. I went yesterday, and what was it? Yesterday was arm day, so I can kind of feel it in. I'm wearing a big jumper, so you can't see anything. But how do I do this? This didn't work. This part. That was really loud. Let me try that again. This muscle here, the tricep, and then you've got that one, the bicep. So I did triceps, biceps, forearms, and I also did is it delt? What's lateral raises? Is that what it's called? Or is I can't remember the. But you shoulder, and then your traps, which is like the diamond part that sits here on both sides of your body, of your each side of your neck. So actually, okay, it's this muscle there and there. So that's your trap, and then obviously there's the delt. I think that's the delt. That's what my brain just said. So that's your shoulder muscle there. That is used when you do like this motion. So that's that one. And then bicep, which is that, and then tricep, which is that, and then that when you do I don't know what wrist exercises are called, but that's like you do like this while holding weights. Oh, my wrist cracked. You do like that motion whilst holding weights, and it works out that part. So anyway, let me put my jumper back on. So yesterday was arm day, so my arms are a little, I like a little muscle soreness from doing that stuff, which I've now grown accustomed to and associated with a good feeling. I guess it is a little painful, it's like lactic acid built up is what it is. And so when you move, it can kind of feel tight. But I've come to associate that as a positive feeling, because I know that I did a good job when I've done that. And I do weight training at the gym, doing progressive overload. So I try and every time I go lift a little bit more weight, a little bit more weight, a little bit more weight. Whether that's 1 or 2 more reps than I did last week with the same weight, or putting on an extra 2.5 kilos onto whatever I'm lifting, and doing the same amount of reps just with a little bit extra weight. That's what I do, progressive overload, and it works pretty well for me. The only thing that keeps me is I have a terrible, terrible diet. My diet is atrocious. Atrocious. I'm really bad at keeping it consistent. I get like a weird, I don't know how to describe it. I'm like weird when it comes to eating, in the sense that like I'll go a full day without eating anything, but then I'll go and get, the next day I'll go to the KFC and buy like a bucket of chicken and eat it all, and then not eat again for another 24 hours. It's like, I can eat a lot of food all at once, but then I don't eat for a while. But I end up eating like massive amounts of calories in that like one sitting. And it's not good food either. It's always like fatty chicken, or I'll go and eat McDonald's, or like I do something really dumb like that. And then when I am sticking to like a calorie in, calorie out sort of diet, I always screw it up because I love snacking. And not even like, and not like proper snacking like people think when you say snacking. I really like some chocolate. And I always have like some in the fridge, and there's so many calories in chocolate. It's kind of insane. So like I'll go a whole day, I'll do good, I'll have like a nice oat breakfast or something with some banana or something, and then lunchtime I'll have some fish or chicken or something like nice with rice, or something simple but high protein, and then some good carbs and stuff like that. And then dinner will come around and I'll do the same thing, nice, usually rice and chicken or something like that. But then after dinner it's like boom, I eat half a block of chocolate. I'm like, I did it again, didn't I? I just messed up. I was doing so well, and then I ate like 6 pieces of chocolate for no reason. I gotta stop buying it, that's my issue. But what else? I've been talking about that for a while, haven't I? I don't know, it's like all I do now is do that. Like I hit new PRs in most of the things I was doing recently. I'm really glad in my chest recently. I've been hitting that really hard, and it's like I can notice it now. So it's nice to see that when I do chest exercises, or any sort of that while you're laying down, that movement. It's nice to see a difference there. Also, like, feel it too, because I'm able to lift a lot heavier things now than I was like the 8 months ago that I started like going to the gym multiple times a week. I'd been working out at home for like a year and a half before I started going to the gym. There's only so much you can do with your own body weight and like lightweight weights in your own home. So it's nice to have dedicated equipment to that. also just kind of comical to see. It's kind of comical to see. Like I'll look at a photo of me at the beach from like 2-3 years ago, and I'm very like narrow, I guess is the word. Like I'm very small is the way that I would describe it. Like my arms and my upper body, it all looks really like this. Whereas now I'm like this. Does that make sense? It's like I got wider, which sounds bad, but I don't know. I like it. So I like it because I know that I'm stronger now. I can do a lot more, lift a lot more, be able to, pick up 12 shopping bags all at once and be able to carry them inside. I'd be able to do all the things that you want to be able to do. It's nice. Now I just need to work on my insurance again. But how's it going over here? Are you slowly drifting off there? Are you slowly falling asleep? I hope you are. We've got noisy cars going off in the background. I hope you're able to rest up. Have a good sleep tonight. I hope I'm distracting your brain from all the annoying thoughts that could be trickling into your head. Instead, you just get to listen to me talk away about dumb personal things. But that's okay. As long as it's working. As long as it's working. And you're getting some rest. That's all I want right now. I can actually tell you something else that's happened recently. Some good news. I don't know if you remember me saying this before. I've definitely said this before, but I found out that I'm a British citizen, despite the fact that I've never been there, never been to the UK, never planned on going to the UK. But I am by birthright a British citizen, and so because of that, if I want to enter the country now, I need to get a British passport to do so. And my sister is getting married this year, and she lives in England, so I wanted to go visit her for her wedding. I had to get a British passport in order to enter the country. It's been, I think since February, so what's that, 5 months? 5 months now, I think. That I've been trying to do it, but I have over here. So I've got my Australian passport. I got this just for specifically so I could tell you. I've got my Australian passport, but now I also have a British passport, so I'm officially a dual citizen of a country I've never been to, and then my country. So I would show the inside of this, but I'm not going to do that, obviously. It's really cool that the Australian one has like pictures of different landmarks and stuff that we have. And of course, as per usual, Western Australia gets the shaft, and we're just not represented like at all in anything Australian wise. I think there's one picture in there of we have a geological feature called Wave Rock, which is just a big wave. A big rock that looks like a wave. It's kind of neat. Maybe I can show you a photo. Let me see if I can find a picture. Wave Rock. Here we are. So it kind of looks like this. So it's a big rock formation out in Whoop Whoop. Whoop Whoop's not a real place. Whoop Whoop is what we say when something's really far away. I'm not actually sure what suburb it's in, but we have this big rock formation that's just like a giant wave. So it's something to do with like the water would flow over it and then it eroded in like a wave-like pattern. But that's the only thing in the passport that's like Western Australia related. Because of course I'm from the capital city in Western Australia, so I'm from Perth. Yes, I'm from Perth. And we always, Western Australia is always just completely forgotten about by the rest of the country. Which is funny because you ever look at like a map where like 1/3 of the entire country is just our state. It's bloody massive. It's bloody massive. I remember looking at it one time, and to travel from, the south, so like Albany is the south city here, Albany, then go all the way up to like Broome. Broome's not even the tippy top. What's the top? It's like, it starts with a K, I can't remember. But basically to go from the very bottom of the state all the way to the very top, it takes something like a day, 2 days, something like that. I'm gonna have to look this up again. But also, if I want to leave the state, so if I want to hop in a car and drive to the state line, which the closest one would be the border with South Australia, I think it's something like 16 hours just to get there. It's kind of insane how big WA is. And despite the fact that we're that big, we're always forgotten about by the rest of the country. I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I've definitely like taken videos and photos and posted it on my Instagram story. But we have a sport here called Australian football, AFL, Australian Football League, and it's not soccer, and it's not gridiron, and it's not rugby. It's its own sport. it's played on like a big oval, so it's different grounds to what most other sports are played on. And there's 3 goals. You have like the side goals, and then there's the main goal. And then you have the ball itself is also like egg-shaped. It's rather fun. It's a rather fun sport. It's very action-packed. Imagine mixing soccer with like gridiron is kind of what it is. So you can pick up the ball and you kick it to each other, and then you're trying to get a goal at either end. And the middle goal is worth 6 points, and the 2 side goals are worth 1 point. So it can be a rather fun game because like you're running with a ball and then someone gets tackled and they're passing it. It's interesting if you've never seen AFL before. I would recommend looking it up. Maybe watching like a grand final or something if you're that interested in it. But just like looking at the sport itself would be rather interesting, I think, for people who've never seen it before. But what I was saying was, so that sport, I believe, originates in the state of Victoria, because it was originally called VFL, Victorian Football League. And then after the introduction of the West Coast Eagles, which is a Western Australian team, in 1986, I want to say. I can't remember. 1987, somewhere there. In the 80s at some point, they introduced the West Coast Eagles there, and then there was, I think, the Brisbane Bears after that, and then there was a few other teams from other states. They merged it all into AFL, became the Australian Football League, and it's now like our biggest sport. Yeah, and the grand final is basically like our Super Bowl. So, there's one weekend every year that like just absolutely goes insane. Like everybody's at home watching this sport. Even for those of us who aren't super massive sports fans, I pay attention to it slightly. But even I will sit down and watch the grand final because it's just like that big of a thing that everybody knows about. But even in that game, we have 2 teams here. We have the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers are the 2 Western Australian teams that we have. And even they're like completely ignored and sidelined by the rest of the teams and commentators and players and like all that. Like all of the eastern states just don't care about our teams. And so it's always like, you guys always don't care about us, do you? That's alright. That's kind of the way I like it. It's nice and quiet over here. It's always calm and quiet, and there's few people. There's also nothing to do, but that's what is the charm of it. There's not a lot going on. So you can kind of get away with just casually walking through the heart of the city and not being bothered by too many people. I don't know how I'm going to handle it when I go to London later in the year. It's going to be a nightmare because I'm so used to just there being no one around, no people. it's like that's my nice, calm, quiet life. And I'm gonna go to London, which will be a nightmare. There's gonna be so many people, so many buildings, so many things around. So, but I have to now, because I've got no excuse not to. I've got a passport now, so I can't be like, oh well, they're not gonna let me in the country, can't go. Which is it's kind of funny now. I was thinking about it. I'm allowed to work in Australia, New Zealand, because I have Australian passport. So Australia, New Zealand, because Australia and New Zealand have like a free like travel agreement or whatever it is, kind of like what the EU has. So like someone from Italy can go to Germany and work, or someone from France can move to wherever, Norway or something. Like you can move around the EU and like not have to go through the process of immigration and stuff. Like you can work, not have to get visas and stuff, like work visas and things like that. So because I'm an Australian citizen, I can live and work in Australia and New Zealand. But then now, because I'm a British citizen, I can work in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and also regular Ireland. What is it? Republic of Ireland. I think that's what it's called, right? Because they also have you have the UK, which is one unit, but then I believe Ireland has a free travel agreement with the UK again. So our Irish citizens can live and work in the UK, and the UK can live and work in Ireland because they have that kind of agreement, like we have with New Zealand. So I can work in like a bunch of countries now, just because I can, which is completely odd to me. I've never wanted to live really anywhere other than Perth. I like it here. It's quiet, it's calm, it's cozy. No one bothers you. You can have a nice, easy time.
while since I've done anything with this TV. I was just thinking about it. It makes really nice sounds when you turn it on, and you've got like a static sound. So I don't know, maybe in future I can do something with that. That's a random other thought though. I was just like, I saw it and I was thinking about it. So anyway, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And if they do, just know it's because they appreciate you. Okay. I really hope you were able to fall asleep. I really do hope so. And I'll see you again soon. Maybe I'll have a little bit more interesting, nuanced things to talk about. I never mentioned that I've been playing Vampire Survivors. I don't know how I didn't bring that up. That's like the one new game that I've been playing. Because I was a fan of Megapunk, but somehow I just missed Vampire Survivors, so I've been playing Vampire Survivors. Anyway, goodbye. I'll talk about that more next time, mate. I'll talk about that more next time. Good night. Good night. Good night. Heya Bozo.